Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of the Miscellaneous Mike Show. So the last episode we were talking about political compasses and how if you were to go past the point of saying it's not just left or right, we then went to, left, right, authoritarian, libertarian, so having two axes. And then we further compounded that by adding another axis for nationalism versus globalism. And then you can add another axis for whether you're conservative or progressive. So you end up with, 4 different axes, like 4 different spectrums that people can fall on. And I thought I'd, have a quick talk about, from my personal experience, something that I saw happening back in 2016 at the federal election. And I think it was very, very interesting and kind of relevant to, political compasses and where people lie on them. Because back in 2016, there was a lot of foreign policy issues that were going around. There was the government attempting to sell the port at Darwin to a Chinese company. There was Chinese companies trying to buy up Kidman & Co. Ranch, like one of the largest properties in Australia that's roughly the size of Wales. And then there was also a lot of scandals going on about political interference from foreign countries, like political donations, foreign money coming in. Now, Labour, the Liberals and the Greens all had different solutions to all 3 of those problems. The Greens' solution... and the last one was migration coming in, of course, from over the north, like boat people and that. So the Liberals had their solution to migration, which was stop the boats, turning around all the boats. Anyone who came on a boat was going to Christmas Island or Nauru and they'd just be interred there indefinitely until they gave up and decided to go back home. Labour had their policy on foreign ownership of ports and, of land. And that was, they were looking to prevent, China coming in and, trying to prevent the privatisation and the selling of land to these overseas companies and, foreign interests. And then the Greens had their solution to the foreign donations and foreign influence for the politicians themselves. So they wanted to have a ICAC, like a corruption investigation thing. And they also wanted to have a complete ban on all foreign political donations. Now, the funny thing is, looking at those spectrums we had, those different sliders, if you were a voter who felt very, very strongly about nationalism, you would, if you held very deeply your belief in the sovereignty of the country and, Australia should be governed by Australians for Australians, blah, 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 all of that. If you were just die-hard true blue, Australia first with a MAGA hat on, make Australia great again, you would like the Liberals' immigration policy. You would like Labour's foreign ownership policy. And you would like the Greens' foreign donations policy. All 3 of those, from 3 different parties, were all very nationalist sort of policies. They had a very strong focus on national sovereignty. The problem is that you can't pick all 3. If you're a person who absolutely, nationalism is it, that's it, everything about you is nationalism, you literally cannot pick the 3 options that you most want, because they're all held by 3 completely different parties. Put it this way. Imagine if you went to a restaurant. You went to a restaurant and there was 3 set menus. You had set menu A, set menu L, and set menu G. That's going to be Labour. ALP, yep, ALP, Liberals, and Greens. So, the ALP menu, they decide to serve you up a stinking pile of shit for your mains. For your side dish, they also serve you up a stinking pile of shit. But for dessert, they say, we are going to give you, amazing chocolate sundae that isn't made of shit. It's actually, a nice chocolate sundae, nuts on top, everything, little wafer cracker. Lovely, chocolate sundae, beautiful. And you look at that and you say, well, I don't like the shit. I don't like shit. But I do like the chocolate sundae. You look at the Liberals, and the Liberals are saying, well, for dinner, we're going to serve you a plate with a nice T-bone steak in it. Bam, T-bone steak, lovely. The side dish, a big steaming pile of shit. And for dessert, another big steaming pile of shit. Now you're looking at that and you're saying, well, I like the steak. The steak is lovely. Everything else is shit. You like the ice cream is good. The steak is good. What about the greens? The greens, dinner. Well, because of the greens, dinner is actually some sort of vegan tofu block dinner. It's a big stinking pile of shit, is basically what I'm saying. The side dish is a plate, and it's got asparagus sticks on it, it's got some carrots, it's got greens. You can actually eat the greens, it's palatable. You will eat what is served on there, and you'll be like, that is a good side dish. But unfortunately, what they've got for dessert is also a big stinking pile of shit. Now, if you go into this restaurant, and these are the three set menus that you've got. You can get the ALP menu, you can get the Liberal menu, or you can get the Greens menu. You're looking at it and you're saying, why can't I get the steak for dinner with a side of greens and some ice cream for dessert? Unfortunately, that's not how politics works. You don't get to pick and choose your policies from political parties. These are very, very strictly defined as being you get that menu and that menu only, subject to service in the kitchen. And unfortunately, when you get to this restaurant, you decide, well, I don't have to actually eat the shit that gets served to me. I can just order the thing that I want, and then I'll get the thing that I want, and then I can, just put up with the rest of the shit because I don't actually have to eat it. So you go in there, and, the Australian public, they went in there, and they said, well, we're going to order the Liberal menu. That's it. We're going to get that steak because steak is lovely. That's it, steak, and we don't need to worry about the shit for dessert because we don't need to eat it. Unfortunately, after they ordered, you had the chef come out and said, I'm sorry, there's been a mix-up in the kitchen. Unfortunately, we've run out of steak. You'll be getting shit for dinner. Yeah. Shit for dinner. Shit for dessert. Shit for a side dish. This is politics. Literally everything is just full of shit. That's what we refer to as a political mandate. People get voted into power. They put forward their menu items. They said, this is what you've chosen. They get into power. And then they say, I'm sorry, we're no longer able to deliver on the one thing that you wanted. Is there any record of, what people intended to vote on? Do we do a proper survey of people as they vote to say, what are you voting for? What is your main issue that you're here for? I'd be very interested to find out, because if we're not properly finding out why people are voting for the parties, their policies just, they're not basing them off anything real. They're just making up shit and dishing it out to people. So anyway, it was entertaining. The thing actually landed on my head. Am I going to edit that out? No, that's staying in. Anyway, I hope this has been entertaining and that I have not been full of shit myself. Please subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next episode.